What's going on, everyone? Today's video, I'm going to talk about how to buy a house in 2025. Obviously, prices are insane, rates are insane, everything is expecting to go up or down, but we haven't actually seen anything move. And so we need to really plan on this is the new norm. I know a lot of people were planning on rates going lower. Obviously, that would help with affordability on home prices. But with inflation still going high, with the Fed saying they're not dropping rates, with the 10-year going up to 4.7 today, I think it's time for us to make a video on what it's like to purchase a home in 2025, because the days of 2020 and the days before that are not going to happen anytime soon. So a crash isn't coming and rates aren't coming down. And so we need to make a plan on what it's going to be like buying in 2025 if that's what you plan on doing. So a lot of this video is going to be based on two types of people. One, when people are waiting for the market to go down, they're always saying, I'm waiting for a deal, something like that. Well, today we're going to talk about what you should be doing if you're looking for a deal, or if I wish some advice someone would have gave me when in my early 20s, mid 20s, or definitely when I was single. I wish I would have done this. This is probably one of the biggest mistakes ever made. So let's talk about the first group of people. Say you're 25 and younger, you want to purchase a home. Home prices are insane. And I think the big problem we've faced over the years, and I definitely see it in my kids. I have a daughter who's about to turn 16, and she jokes around, do I get a Range Rover or a Tesla? And I always say my first car was a 1993 Chevy pickup truck that the door barely shut. And so that what you have to realize when you're at the younger age, you're not going to buy your dream home. That's not how it works. We need to get into real estate, buy a house, and then we'll move up from there. That's the one thing I think that people don't process is you're not going to buy your dream home, your first home, but maybe down the road, another 5 to 10 years, you might get your dream home. That's something I even have to remind myself is that I look at these people that are in their 50s and 60s and 70s, and they have the big old house and they have all the money and they have the vacation homes. Well, they have 35 years ahead of me, so they've had more time to build those things. But definitely we all know that investing in real estate is one of the best things that you can do. And I'm not saying that you're going to invest and buy a house and then equity is going to go up 20-30% like a lot of people have seen before buying and before 2021. What I'm saying to you is you're basically holding on to your money. So remember this: if I buy a house for say 500 grand, and then I pay it off, and then in 30 years I go to sell it, and I pay it's only worth 500 grand. I still have $500,000 in my pocket when it's all said and done. If I rent it for the next 30 years, and I will say this, I am a current renter. I would have obviously I wish I would have bought during COVID, but I didn't. And it's definitely before that. The biggest mistake I ever made was not buying real estate right when I got into real estate. Life changes, life happens. It is what it is. So we're going to learn from that mistake. And so if you're one of those people currently right now, it's let's just get you into a home. And you might be saying, Adam, I can't afford a monthly payment. I can't afford this. I agree. Most people, life is super expensive right now. They probably can't purchase a home on their own. But that's what we're going to talk about today: how to way to hack yourself into owning a home, and taking the steps possible for that to happen. I remember if you guys listened to Alex Hormozi talks about a story when he was making $100,000. He was renting a room in a house full of like 7 guys. He was even splitting his room, so his rent was like $400 a month. Obviously, those days aren't going to happen anytime soon, but I want to break down that idea about finding a group of buddies who are all ready to move out of your parents' house. I remember, luckily for me, I had a job where I traveled a lot, so I was never really home. But when I did come home for three or 4 months a year, I was so used to living on my own. It was very hard living back with my parents. So I wish I would have done this and be able to purchase a house with somebody. So the first thing is get a handful of buddies that are looking to move out of your parents' house. Okay. The next thing you're going to do, we're going to be talking about Riverside prices. And obviously that changes if whatever market you're in, but let's take Riverside and let's break down in Riverside currently right now. We have, um, we have 34 homes that are under 600 grand and at least 3 bedrooms. I took all condos away and I took all HOAs away because of I don't want to add any more costs to what it would be to purchase a home. All right. And then if we take out of those 34 homes, over half of them have been sitting on the market more than 30 days. All right. So they've been sitting on the market more than 30 days. So there's a chance that the seller has some move money to work with. So now we want to go into, remember, we're not buying your first dream home. And if we look what your monthly payment would be, say you did an FHA loan, 3.5% down, you would have to be $21,000 into the house. If a house has been sitting on the market for more than 30 days, you have a good chance that the seller will pay for your closing costs. So that's going to save you some money there. And your mortgage is roughly going to be $4,900 with at a 7% interest rate. And you might say, Adam, that's $5,000 a month. That's a lot. And that's why we want to shoot for 3 to 4 bedrooms. And the reason, if we go up to 4 bedrooms, let's see how many 4 bedrooms there are over here. Out of those, out of the 39, we have 8 homes that are 4 bedrooms. That's one more person that can rent. And so if you really think about the average rent in Riverside is $1,250 for a 1-bedroom apartment. And so if you take your 5,000 a month divided by 4, you're at $1,250 a month. And so if you have buddies that are going to be moving out anyway, they're going to be renting an apartment for that same amount of money. And they're going to be covering all the costs of expensive like utilities and things like that. So it'll be a little bit easier and a little bit cheaper for everyone if you all join together. And so that's what my advice for you. If you're someone in your early 20s and you have the ability to buy a house right now with some buddies that will rent rooms from you, definitely go out and start looking. And we want to be looking at things that are over the market for more than 30 days because we can get them to pay our closing costs, which then that will even lower how much it will cost you to get into the house. And so that's what's really the steps that you need to take. If you're thinking about buying a home and you're young in 2025, and honestly, probably in 2026 and 2027, we haven't seen inventory increase that much. I've done 50 CMAs in the last 2 days going out to past clients. Prices have not gone down at all, and interest rates have gone up. Unless we see some crazy economic job loss, I just don't see us going back to prices anywhere close to what we saw before. All right. So that's for my one pocket of buyers. You're young, you need to get in your first home, and you say, Adam, I'll never be able for home. Because what I want you to realize is as you get older, more and more life experience or life expenses come up. You get a wife, you have kids, you now want to go on vacation, you want to think like in your early 20s, you can bunk up with a few buddies. You can do those things. You can maybe buy a house that needs a little bit of work that you guys can work on together as you go on. And remember, even if in the next 5 to 7 years, your house goes up 10%, you're also having all that money that you put in the mortgage kind of come right back out. So that's what my thought. My next process is I want to talk to are people that are maybe a little bit older, maybe have a family. You're looking and you're just like, man, I just want to buy a deal. All right. So the one thing we're going to look at right now is if we're going to be going over here, let me share my screen again. Share my screen. I want to go, let's keep it under 750,000 in Riverside. I'm assuming you have a family. Let's go 4 bedrooms plus. Okay. So right now in Riverside, there's houses that are under 750,000. And let's do a gap actually. Let's just go make it easier. 650 to 750. Let's do that price point. Okay, there's 43 homes on the market. And out of those 43 homes, look, 17 and on are 50 days on the market or more. So I always say, let's take 925 away because that's Orange Crest. That's where I live. That's now I know a lot of people. Okay, we have 13 houses in that price point, and all 13 of them are over 30 days on market. And so if you're looking to get into a home and you're tired of paying rent and you're tired of doing renting a home, because I rent and I understand the problem when it comes to it, you just want to get into a home. There's 13 houses right now that if I was you, I'd go look at all 13. The reason I like Orange Crest, they're all track homes, so they're all same neighborhood, same price, same kind of area, and I would just go write 13 offers and write it whatever number that makes sense for you. If it's 50,000 and below, write 50,000 below. Who cares? You're not offending anyone, and you never know. When it comes to buying and selling real estate, I always tell my clients this. The seller decides if a house sells, the buyer decides what the house sells for. So the buyers determine what your house will sell for, and you determine if you want to sell it at that price. If you don't want to sell it at that price, you just don't sell it. So if I was someone and I was buying a house right now and I was looking to buy in a certain area, I would look at everything 30 days on the market and just go write 13 offers like I would up in Orange Crest. And just go in with your agent and say, hey, this is my game plan. This is what I want to do. I don't really care about the house. I'm tired of renting. Unless it's just terrible, we're writing an offer. Okay, great. And I'm not going to write anything at asking price. And I'm going to ask my closing costs to cover. Cool. Sounds great. Let's do it. And you never know, someone might say yes. All right. So those are the two groups of people I think the game plan needs to be in 2025. Because the one thing I want you to look at, let's go back to the screen really quick. Let's go back here really quick. And let's look at pending sales in 19508. There's only 7 houses. Oh, sorry. Let's take 19508. There's 27 houses pending in this area. And if you look, over half of them went pending in the first 30 days. So houses are still moving. People are still buying homes. They're still moving product. Things are still moving. People always ask me how the market's doing. Homes are still selling. They're still selling a few weeks on the market if it's priced right. But what you need to realize is you might write an offer and maybe you write it 50 below and you get it for 25 below with your closing costs covered. And now you're not paying rent anymore. And remember, rates go down, you just refi. I'm not saying rates are going to go down anytime soon. I think they're going to be between the 6 and the 7s. Let's hope. With the 10-year going up today, that means rates are going to go up higher and higher. So we don't really know where rates are going. So look at this. If rates are at 7 right now and they go up, you're locked in at 7. If rates go down, you refi. It's a win-win for the both of us, or both of you, for you, either scenario. Okay. Those are my advice for 2025. This is my opinion. This is what I think is best for most people out there. The days of coming in and saving all money and buying your dream home, there's very few and far between out there. I know that no one has ever really regretted buying a house. Okay. If you buy with the right agent, with the right lender, with the right deal, and it fits your needs, there's really no other reasons why it won't work. And that's why I always love certain areas of Riverside, 92508, 92506, parts of 92504. Those houses will always move. People are always going to want to live in this area. If you go buy something that is kind of wonky, not in the greatest part of town, just realize when you go to sell that thing, it might be harder than you thought. So hopefully this video has helped. If you have any questions about buying in 2025 or building a game plan in 2025, please reach out to me. I'd love to jump on a 30-minute call for you. This is what I do every single day. I talk to people about buying and selling real estate. If you have a house you want to sell in the area and you want to see what the market's doing in 2025, please reach out to me. I'm here to help. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, please reach out. I'm never too busy to pick up my phone. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch. Until next time, guys, peace.